Are you ready to move your career forward? Make your comeback with Purdue Global and get college credit for your work, school life, or military experiences. With these credits, you may have already completed up to 75% of your undergraduate degree. You've worked hard to get where you are. It's time to get the recognition you deserve and earn a degree you'll be proud of, one that employers will trust and respect. When you take the next step in your life and career, make it count with Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Start your comeback at purdueglobal.edu.
Plug in a Hyundai EV and the extraordinary happens. From the charge time and range in the Ioniq 5 and 6 to the adventurous spirit of the Kona Electric to the 601 horsepower Ioniq 5N. Hyundai EVs make the extraordinary electrifying. There's joy in every journey.
EPA estimated 303-mile driving range for 2024 Ioniq 5 SE SEL limited rear-wheel drive and 361-mile driving range for 2024 Ioniq 6 SE long-range rear-wheel drive with fully charged battery. Actual range may vary. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men experience domestic abuse in their lifetime. And nearly half of survivors delay leaving because they can't bring their pets with them. Purina started the Purple Leash Project to help eliminate one of the many barriers domestic abuse survivors face, a lack of pet-friendly domestic violence shelters. Through the Purple Leash Project, Purina is helping to create more pet-friendly domestic violence shelters across the country, so abuse survivors and their pets can escape and heal together. Visit Purina.com/purple to get involved.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy 2. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Hey listeners, it's Jenny. This month we're heading back to school and we're taking you along with us. For all of September, we're bringing back some of our favorite Womanica episodes you might have missed. You'll hear me and some talented guest hosts share both iconic and underappreciated stories. And there's a twist. Each week is dedicated to a different school subject. This week we're sharing women you should be learning about in social studies class. Politicians, activists, legends, there are so many ways people have shaped our societies and cultures. We've picked just a few of our favorite stories to transport you to different times, places, and perspectives. And they're all stories that I wish I'd learned more about in my social studies classes. So, on to the show. Hello. From Wonder Media Network, I'm Jenny Kaplan, and this is Womanica. This month, we're talking about muses, women who were drivers of creativity and inspiration. Today, we're talking about a woman whose legendary beauty was captured on film by Jean Cocteau, painted by Pablo Picasso, and photographed by Man Ray. But she was more than just a pretty face. She was a talented photographer, writer, and one of the only female war correspondents to be credentialed during World War II. Please welcome Lee Miller. Elizabeth Miller was born in 1907 in Poughkeepsie, New York, to Theodore and Florence Miller. Theodore was an engineer and amateur photographer who introduced the art to Lee and his 2 sons. From the time she was a child into adolescence, Lee modeled for her father's photographs, usually in the nude. As a young woman, she explored a career in the arts. She first moved to Paris before landing in New York City. While walking in the city, Lee absent-mindedly stepped off the sidewalk into oncoming traffic. Before a car could hit her, she was pulled to safety by Vogue publisher and media tycoon Condé Nast. The chance encounter would turn out to be Lee's big break, a March 1927 cover of Vogue. She was also photographed by the leading fashion photographers of the time, Arnold Genta, Nicholas Murray, and Edward Steichen. Lee continued to model until a photo of her was used without her permission in a Kotex ad. She became persona non grata in the fashion industry, effectively ending her modeling career. In 1929, Lee moved back to Paris, seeking out surrealist visual artist Man Ray. When she saw Man Ray at a bar, she went up to him and said, "My name is Lee Miller, and I'm your new student." Man Ray replied, "I don't have students." When he told her he was leaving on holiday the next day, she said, "So am I." He was so taken by Lee that he gave her a job as his studio assistant. Eventually, their professional relationship led to a romantic one. Man Ray declared Lee his muse. Together, they are credited with creating the solarization technique, where the black and white hues are reversed, creating a halo-like effect. According to Lee, the method was discovered when she accidentally turned on the lights while developing a photograph. Lee's relationship with Man Ray introduced her to a circle of famous artists, including Salvador Dali, Pablo Picasso, and Jean Cocteau. Cocteau captured her in film. Picasso made many paintings and took many photographs of Lee. It's even said that Lee's breasts inspired a French glass company to model champagne glasses after her. It seemed everyone wanted something from Lee. All the while, her own career continued to grow. She photographed women for French Vogue, took her own surrealist photos, and took on other lovers. Man Ray grew jealous of Lee's growing artistic and sexual independence. In 1932, Lee left Man Ray and returned to New York, where she opened her own successful studio. In his heartbreak, Man Ray spent 2 years painting the work Observatory Time, The Lovers, an 8-foot-long, 3-foot-high painting of Lee's lips in the sky above the Paris Observatory. He also created a second version of his iconic work, Object to be Destroyed, named Object of Destruction, a metronome adorned with a picture of an eye at the end of the ticker. To make the connection to Lee more explicit, he replaced the original eye with a photo of Lee's. Lee went on to marry Egyptian businessman Aziz Aloui Bey and moved to Cairo. While there, she took one of her most famous photographs, Portrait of Space, a photograph of the Egyptian desert taken through a torn screen. When the couple divorced, Lee returned to Europe and rekindled her friendship with Man Ray. The two would remain close friends until his death in 1976. As World War II began, Lee became accredited as a photographer with the American Army through Condé Nast Publications. She was one of just a few U.S. Army women photographers to see combat. In 1944, Lee was present for the Battle of St. Malo, the chaos of D-Day, the liberation of Paris, and the U.S. military's entry into Nazi concentration camps. While Lee's photos showed the devastation of World War II, the most famous photograph of her travels was not taken by Lee, but rather of Lee. Following the liberation of Dachau, photographer David E. Sherman took photos of Lee in Adolf Hitler's bathtub, washing away the dirt from the concentration camp. Lee's son Antony has acknowledged the image was polarizing and told The Telegraph, "I think she was sticking 2 fingers up at Hitler." On the floor are her boots, covered with the filth of Dachau, which she has trodden all over Hitler's bathroom floor. She is saying she is the victor. Upon returning home from the war, Lee exhibited signs of post-traumatic stress and began drinking heavily. She hid all of her photographic work in the attic of her home as a way to bury her traumatic war experiences. In 1947, she married surrealist painter and curator Roland Penrose. Lee stepped away from professional photography and retreated deeper into alcohol abuse. Lee Miller died of cancer in 1977. Her son, Antony, unaware of his mother's career, discovered thousands of prints and negatives in the attic. Inspired by his mother's art, Antony went on to create the Lee Miller Archives, enabling the rediscovery of his mother's work. Thanks for listening to this best of episode of Womanica. For more information, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Womanica Podcast. Special thanks to Liz Kaplan, my favorite sister and co-creator. As always, we'll be taking a break for the weekend. Tune in on Monday for another of our favorite episodes honoring the back-to-school season. Talk to you then.
You know that feeling when you walk into your home, take a deep breath, and feel new? Well, that's what it's like to use Clorox Scentiva. Because Clorox Scentiva smells like coconut, cleans like Clorox, and feels like energy. It'll elevate any cleaning routine to not just clean, but also make every room smell like a tropical coconut getaway. Discover how Clorox Scentiva's powerful clean and refreshing scents can transform your space. Get yours in coconut or other fabulous scents at a nearby retail store.
Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send instant money transfers, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get your first month free at greenlight.com/iHeart. That's greenlight.com/iHeart.
Good sleep should come naturally, and with the new Natural Hybrid mattress, it can. A collaboration between Lisa and West Elm, the Natural Hybrid is expertly crafted from natural latex, natural wool, and certified safe foams to elevate your sleep sanctuary and support a greener tomorrow. Breathable organic cotton and moisture-wicking Joma wool consistently provide cool and comfortable slumber. Every purchase helps fuel Lisa's work with shelters and those in need. Visit lisa.com to learn more. That's LEESA.com.
Hey folks, ready to wow your dinner? Say hello to Goya Yellow Rice. Your dinner's new secret hero, ready in minutes and bursting with an authentic blend of onion, garlic, and other flavorful Latin spices. Spanish-style Goya Yellow Rice is the perfect match for your meat, fish, or chicken. Or try it as the star ingredient to prepare a tasty shrimp paella. Find it in the Goya section of your local grocery store. If it's Goya, it has to be good.